It's the Texas weather discussion video for Friday the 8th of December. I'm Donovan Neal. A very hard freeze is underway for many North Texans across the state. However, we won't stay like this throughout the rest of the day. It should be warmer than yesterday, and we continue on a warming trend as we go through this weekend into early next week. Let's take a look at the water vapor satellite view across the continental United States. We have that deep cold trough extending down into our area, bringing some very cold Arctic air, which is creating a hard freeze for our area. These are the temperatures at 451. Many locations not even reaching actually no locations are above the 35 degree threshold. Arlington 27, DFW 29. Some places are even in the teens in North Texas. 13 in Graham, 16 in Seymour, 17 in Gainesville. Wow, this is by far the coldest air of that we've seen thus far in this season. But this is pretty much the coldest air, and a very hard freeze for our area as well. Thankfully, the growing season ended pretty much a month ago. Across the nation, much of the country below freezing, and in many spots of the country below freezing in most spots. And take a 4-hour drive up north, and you'll see widespread temperatures in the teens in most spots in Oklahoma and Kansas, and central and eastern Kansas. Wow. But the good news is we won't down here in North Texas, we won't stay like this. We should warm nicely to the upper 40s today. Across the watch warning map, this is the first time. This is a very rare sight. The deep south has multiple freeze warnings and multiple winter weather advisories, extending down from El Paso, Texas to Virginia. To Southern Virginia, even includes parts of Alabama, Mississippi, the parts of the deep south, where they're expected to have some snow there, where they're expected to have some snow accumulation, which is pretty rare that they're seeing this before New York does. Wow. Up on the convective outlooks, we have the standard slight risk for severe storms for parts of central Florida, where they could see some wind damage and a few isolated tornadoes here and there. But other than that, most of the country remains pretty dry. This is the average rainfall for the next 7 days, and you can see nothing for much of Texas, or much of North Texas at that matter. We remain dry and stable throughout the rest of this week, and really throughout the next 10 days or so. We'll just have to see about that. So let's go out to the model output. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid today at noon at 500 millibars. You can see that deep trough. We're in the midst of a deep trough, and down here we're certainly experiencing the effects from that. We're basically surrounded by very cold air this morning. However, as expected, I do think we should warm very pleasantly into at least the upper 40s today. It won't be as cold as yesterday because the wind chill should be fairly consistent with the temperature today. Yesterday was just brutal, but the wind chill should be fairly consistent with the temperature today, and most highs should be in the upper 40s to low 50s. Let's go out to Saturday as the weekend begins. We begin a warming trend. This weekend. We start the day in the low 30s on Saturday, and then we end up in the mid 50s as we start the day. Let's go out to Sunday. Pretty much Sunday we getting even warmer. We start the day at around 40 degrees, and then we warm to the mid 60s on Saturday. Wow. We begin a warming trend with seasonably warmer temperatures. Here's Monday of next week. Again, here's the warming trend. We start the day in the 40s again, and then we end up either in the upper 60s or low 70s, depending on how that day feels. Let's go out to Tuesday. Again, we start the day in the upper 50s on that day. Wednesday we end up in the mid 60s again with abundant sunshine, very pleasant. Same thing on Thursday. And a week from today, Friday the 15th of December, we have troughing mainly in the northeast part of the country. Heights are about where they should be for us, and that's a pretty dry look on Friday. Here's the end of the forecast period. This is Monday the 18th of December. We have troughing in the north, we have zonal flow aloft, and the pretty benign weather pattern for us. And let's just keep going here. This is way out there. This is Sunday the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. And this model run of the GFS basically suggests that we could see an increase in moisture in parts of North Texas. But keep in mind, you just take this with a grain of salt. This is nothing but voodoo at this point. This is still 16 days out, and really there's no skill in a specific forecast past 10 days. But this is still just a look. But the numbers coming off the European ensemble looks like an actual forecast here. Basically after today, towards the early part of next week, we basically continue a warming trend here, and then after that we stay fairly consistent with the temperatures. Although I do disagree that we see 70s on Monday and Saturday. Other than that, we basically stay seasonably warm and generally above average for this time of the year. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. I'll have more notes in the blog. My next video should be posted at around 7 a.m. Monday morning. And if you can, catch your local TV stations on the air at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and a great weekend, and Godspeed.